Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little different from my normal content because I have a launch video for LauraLeeLosAngeles. I have our next newest product sitting right here and I'm about to show it to you right now. But the best thing about this video is that the item has launched right now on LauraLeeLosAngeles.com. So I decided to launch the item as soon as I released the video. That way you guys could purchase it as you watch, or if you decide you like it, you don't have to wait, you don't have to set a timer, you can buy it right now. I'm not gonna waste time rambling on about things we don't have to ramble on about right now. We're gonna jump right in and talk about it. So our newest product is this is our, you're like, a makeup bag, right? This is our new 10-piece brush set. The brushes are in here. I'm about to go through and show you every one of them. This is my birthday brush set. I created this brush set forever ago, but I specifically have been holding on to these. I've been wanting to specifically launch these as the Laurely birthday brush set for my birthday. Again, it's a 10-piece brush set. It comes in a similar bag, however, it is a different color from our last bag. Our last bag was a nude pink. This is like just nude, and I am obsessed with these brushes. We really stepped it up a notch. These brushes are super elevated and I just have learned so much as I've gone. We got a lot of amazing feedback on our lash brush set, but this one right here, again, it's available right now, is creme de la creme, and I think you'll agree. Okay, are you guys ready for the reveal of the brushes? Oh my God. Hello, rose gold, creamy nude heaven. Are these not the prettiest brushes you've ever seen? I seriously, like, looking at them, I am going to have a set, which I haven't been able to do it yet, but I'm gonna have a set setting back here just because these brushes are my aesthetic and they're so much my aesthetic. I need them as decor in the room. It's kind of ridiculous. Yes, the brushes match the brush bag, and yes, you could throw this brush bag in your washer and it does wipe out. The material easily wipes down. This is the exact same material as our first brush bag. If you guys got that, you guys will want this. If you guys got our first brush set, you'll definitely want to get your hands on this one. It's all new brushes. None of the brushes are duplicated. The brushes are a little bigger in this set than my last set. So let's dive in a little deeper. So let's talk prices. So as you can see, this is the brush set. We'll go through each brush individual and hang tight to the end of the video because I'm going to show you guys how I got this look using this brush set only. Full face of makeup right here. It comes with a brush bag plus 10 brushes for $47. It is $2 more than my last brush set. A lot of these brushes are substantially bigger and cost me a lot more to make than my last brush set. You will see it in the brushes. I also packed in the ferrule as many hairs as I possibly could in some of these brushes, so it did cost a little more to make, but I wanted really luxe powder brushes and like rich soft brushes. They are synthetic hair, they're vegan, they're cruelty free totally, but I did want extremely nice brushes for my birthday brush set. Like, I'm not playing any games here. So it cost $47 for the set. You're definitely gonna want to get this set because it is the best value. You're saving $38 as if instead of buying them all individual. So $47 for the full brush set. If you bought them all individual plus the bag, it would cost you $85. So you're definitely gonna want to get this deal. It's the best. Last time our brushes sold out quickly. So I'm about to go through each brush individual, but I want to tell you a little deal we're having. So we are going to bundle the new brush set with our Nudie 2 palette. You guys love whenever we bundle our brush set with palettes, so you kind of get a little bit of both worlds. The eye look I have on is just strictly out of this palette. I'm going to show you guys how I use it. So if you guys want to get the full brush set plus the Nudie 2 palette, it is $62. With a savings of $21, it would be $83 if you bought the full brush set plus the palette separately. So you're saving a lot there. Or we're going to have a little special deal on just Nudie 2. So if you guys are interested in getting Nudie 2, it's going to be $28. It's originally $36. You're going to save $8. You're getting 20% off. So if you guys are just interested in checking this out, go ahead and get it now for $28. It's the first time it's ever been on sale. It's the first time it's ever been that low in price. Check that out. Now, if you just want to pick up a brush or two, that's fine too. We have some great prices on our individual brushes. So let's talk about each and every brush and kind of what they're used for and like why I created it. So all your brushes will fit down in your bag with plenty of room to spare for other makeup products. I mean, you can fit our past brush set, which is pretty much all sold out, plus this one. By the way, the past brush set is not coming back. That is it for that. And then this is going to be the new brush set. We may bring it back far in the future, but it won't be coming back anytime soon. So this will be our new girl right here. So let's go through the brushes. First, we have the L21. This is our biggest brush. I don't know if you can see it for the size of my head, against the size of my head, it's huge. It's an extremely big, soft powder brush. You can use it for body powders. You can use it for powder all over your face. I do a little bit of everything with it. I have a dirty set here, but yeah, this is it. It's huge. But for such a luxe, heavy, nice brush, it has a beautiful price tag on it. If you just wanted to get the deluxe powder brush, it's amazing. And again, this brush is just simply used for powders. Any powder product, powdering your whole face, highlighting your whole body, bronzing up your whole body, whatever you want to use it for, use this brush. It's bomb.com. It's also very heavy. That is going to lead us into our next brush. This is the L22. So I wanted to create a fan brush, but I wanted it to be a thick, heavy fan brush so you can do more than just put a highlighter on with it, because I don't necessarily love doing highlighter with fan brushes, just because I do kind of feel like the highlighter kind of goes everywhere, and I do want my highlighter blended in more so specific areas. But I have found myself using my fan brushes for applying my contour. So I was like, I need a thick, like a kabuki fan brush, if you will, to apply contour with. I'll show you exactly how I use all of these brushes towards the end of the video. Full tutorial on how to use them, but I'm kind of describing that for you now. But to contour out and around the hairline, it's the perfect shape, even chiseling out the jaw. So I was like, this is the brush I need to contour with. This is the new contour brush. Gotta have it. It's amazing. It's got a great price tag on it, and I love it. Now, if you do want to highlight with it, it is a thicker brush, so it will pick up a lot of product, just a warning on that. But you can 100% highlight with a fan brush. We all do our makeup a little bit differently, and you can use any of these brushes to how they benefit you in your creation. So next up is the L23. This is a medium-sized powder brush. This is a tapered brush, so it's great for applying powders to that under eye area. I also like to bronze up or contour with this if you want to do that. What I use it for in today is for blush. I love applying blush. It has that tapered top, so it's absolutely perfect for applying blush to the apples of the cheek and kind of draping it backwards. This brush is great for truly any powder, doesn't matter. You can use it for anything. It's just like that classic staple tapered medium-sized powder brush every person needs in their makeup kit. It's amazing. So next we are going to move on to, oddly enough, the brush in this kit that I use probably the most. So this is our cream product brush. This is the L24. It is an angled kabuki brush. It is thick. It has a lot of hairs in it, and it is fabulous to get an airbrush finish with your cream product. So I applied my foundation, my concealer, and my bronzer, my cream bronzer with this one brush. I'll show you how I do it for the millionth time. Hang out till the end. Hang out till the end. You're like, okay, Jesus, stop telling me that. But anyways, this is the brush I use for all cream products. I also especially love this brush for blending out concealer, specifically because I get a lot of darkness like right there. That's like the darkest part of my eye. A lot of times whenever I'm blending it out with a brush, it tends to pick up the product and move it out that area, and I'm like, please God, no. So this brush is great, but what I like to do is dab with it. I do a tapping motion. I don't really swipe with it. You can. I tend to swipe with it whenever I'm applying my foundation. You'll get a really nice airbrush finish, but with concealer, you can really build up your concealer to get more coverage out of it. If you dab with this brush, it is the perfect shape to get underneath that eye and then just go all the way. It's also nice because it's a smaller kabuki, so whenever you're blending out concealer in these areas and highlighting specific areas, it really targets those. It's an amazing brush. If you haven't used a kabuki like this, I highly recommend you try it out in your makeup routine. I promise you'll fall in love with it. The next brush is another face brush, so this is going to be our new and improved highlighter brush. So it looks like this. It is way thicker and bigger than our original highlighter brush. I like both brushes, they're just different. So this is our L25, and this brush again can be really used for like any powder at all. It doesn't have to be highlighting, but this brush is great. It picks up a lot of product, but it is great for highlighting the face. It's excellent. I love it. I use it every day. It's my go-to. And now I can finally tell you about it. Now I want to talk about our big blender. So this is a staple whenever doing eyeshadow. This brush is great for just blending, transition shades, all that good stuff. You have your L26 here, and we use this today to really blend out our transition in our look. Or if I'm just doing a color all over, a wash of color all over, this is just our main core blender in this kit. You gotta have it. You gotta have this in a actual makeup brush kit. We have her, she's here. In our other kit, we had a similar brush. This one is a little bit different. It was one of our best sellers. I know you guys are gonna love this one too. So we also created it for detail work. So we created a mini version of the same brush. So I will hold these two side by side so you can get a comparison. So you have the big blender and then you have the smaller blender. The smaller one right here is great for detail detail work. So I do use this in my eye look today, obviously for detail work. If you have a smaller eyelid, this is going to probably be your best friend. I tend to have a little bit of a smaller eyelid, so these really help me get more of a precise blend. Whereas sometimes whenever I get to more of a precise blend in a look, brushes like this can be a little too big for my eyelid size. Remember, we're all shaped differently. Our eyelids are all shaped differently and they're different sizes, so it's important to have different brushes and different tools that work for you and your makeup kit. So we have both sizes in the blender. Even if you have a bigger eyelid, this brush is great for detail work. It's great for blending out that lower lash line. Great for a lot of things. You're a makeup enthusiast, you know. So then, of course, we had to add a shader brush. This is the L27. This is our shader brush. It is a lot larger than our lash shader brush. The lash shader brush is also great for concealing, for detail work, for carving out. This one's just that times 10. It's just a lot bigger. I love it. I love it for creating a soft glam look. I specifically show you how I buff out whenever I'm cutting, like cut creasing out my lid, how I buff it out with this look so it's not like such a harsh cut crease. It's more of a soft glam cut crease. This brush is great for that. And because it's bigger, it makes it a lot easier if you want to apply cream product with it. You can apply any cream product with it or really pack on eyeshadow with it to get that intense pigment. Next up, so my brow routine, like from the time I created my first brush set, I do my brows 100% different. I didn't even have a brow brush in our first brush set. That was the #1 request. With the second brush set, we want a brow brush, and so you shall have a brow brush. But what's great is I created a brow brush that really works for how I do my brows. Now, I do my full brow routine at the end of this video with this brush, the spoolie, to brush my brows up and apply some brow freeze, and then I have the angled brush at the top to fill in my brows with the product. So it's a great brush. It's a very sturdy brush. And if you want to bend your spoolie, a lot of people do, Aaron do, you can totally bend it on this brush. Yeah, this is a brow brush, double-ended, gotta have it. And then lastly, we have our flat top brush. So this brush is another must-have. We didn't have anything like this in our first kit. We had more of a smudge brush. You can use this for smudging, but I prefer this one for carving out the brows because it has that perfect flat top. I also like it if you wanted to do an eyeshadow liner for buffing out a little of a darker shadow on my upper lash line and creating kind of a wing liner with it. And I also like it if you want to get really close up in that lower lash line. It's so good to apply and buff out some eyeshadow there. So this one's good for multi-uses, but a must-have in the collection. And that is all 10 brushes that fit in the bag for $47. What an amazing deal. As usual, just to give back to you guys and all the support that you always show us, I'm gonna pick 3 winners to win the full brush set plus the Nudie 2 palette, so you'll win that full bundle. Be sure and just subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and leave 1 comment down below. That's all you have to do, and I'll go through and pick 3 people to win the full collection. All right, guys, I kind of broke it down for you. Now we're gonna go ahead and jump into finally the part of this video I keep talking about, the makeup tutorial with the brushes, because I find that's where the real magic is. I can talk about them all day, but it's really fun to see them actually in use. These are bomb brushes. Don't miss out on the deal, and don't miss out on the bundle. If you guys haven't tried Nudie 2, please try it. Please try it. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with this palette. Been obsessed with it a long time. One of our best-selling palettes. It completely sold out whenever we launched it last holiday. So she just came back in stock like a month ago. So she's back. But anyways, we're gonna jump into the makeup tutorial now. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna show you now how I use these brushes and show you what I love about them. So we're gonna start actually with my brows, just because I do my brows a little bit differently nowadays. So I'm gonna start with my brow brush. So this is the L29. It's a double-ended brush. You have the spoolie, you have the angled flat brush, which is great for filling them in. I'm gonna show you exactly how I use the brush. So first I'm gonna take a little bit of my ABH brow freeze, and I take the spoolie side and I literally just scrape it across and pick up some of the brow freeze, and I just run it through my brows to make sure my brows are nicely coated. We're really gonna get them to kind of stand up. And then a lot of times I'll just take the barrel of my brush and just push them up and lay them down like this. And then what you can do, if you want to calm them down a little bit, you can go back. The reason I do this before my foundation is regardless of how many different brow freeze products that I've used, they do tend to move your foundation around a little bit. So lately I've been trying to do my brows first. Sometimes I still forget because I'm still like in the way of doing my brows like before my eyes or something like that. But I try to remember, don't mess up your foundation, because I always have to like wipe off and repair my foundation around my brow whenever I forget. Okay, so basically this is it. I'm gonna add just a little bit more. And whenever your spoolie, or if they do get kind of gunked up, all these products wash out of your brushes in warm water, not scalding hot. If you're washing your brushes in scalding hot water, you can loosen up the glue that's holding your brush together. So careful with doing that, and careful with like soaking your brushes in hot water. Not really the move you wanna go for. You wanna more so just wash them in warm water with some brush cleaner or soap or whatever you prefer. Now I'm gonna show you guys how I fill them in with the same brush. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the this is in medium brown. This is the ABH brow powder. I'm gonna use the deeper one right here. So what I like to do now is really push this product in with the angled brush, and this just really fills in any sparse areas in my brows. And as you can see here, I have this brow filled in, and now I'm gonna do the same thing over here, and I'll be right back. And that is how I fill in my brows using this brush. So now we're gonna do our foundation, and I'm gonna be using the L24 brush. So this brush is great for any type of liquid or cream product. I like to just literally buff my foundation in with this. It's like an angled kabuki, and it's really great for getting around corners of your face. And with this brush, you can do dabbing like this, or you can do strokes. But either way, I find that I get like such a nice finish with this brush. I also find with this kabuki, because it has that flat angle on it, it is nice to work around brows or just any tight areas on your face where you're trying to blend out cream product. Okay, we have our foundation on, and now I'm going to take just a little bit of this mini Tarte Shape Tape. It's just here, and I've enjoyed it for years, so I'm like, I'm just going to use this today. But I'm going to apply this concealer on, and I'm actually going to blend it out with the same brush. So it already has a little foundation on it. That's okay. I'm just going to take this in my under eye. This is my favorite thing for this brush, and just push in my concealer. And I really find that it like packs the concealer on without moving it out of my dark circle area. I don't know if you've ever brushed or blended and it's like picking up a lot of the concealer, so you'll end up with that darkness. Here, I just like to take this brush, and it's just like the perfect shape, and I like to push the concealer to really pack it on instead of move it around, because I do need more heavy coverage in this area specifically, because that's where my darkness shows. So this brush is so good for that. So now I'm going to take my bronzer stick and just apply a little bit of this bronzer. And then I'm going to take my same brush, and I'm just going to blend this product right out. Again, this brush is just like perfect for all cream products. So it's regardless of what you're doing. You can even apply cream blush with it. And this is just like my core brush. I'm obsessed. It stays dirty. I use it for so much. So before we before we jump into powders, I'm gonna go in with my L30. This is a flat brush. It's great for shading, but it's also great for cleaning up your brows. So I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna take a little bit of concealer on the edge of it, and I really just take it and run it underneath my brows just to make sure everything is nice and cleaned up under here. That is what this brush is so good for. But again, you can also do like under eye shading with it to get in those areas, or you can like buff out some liner on your lid with it. These brushes are a staple in the makeup kit. All right, so now we have the star of the show. We have the L21. This is our huge mega bronzer brush. This brush is literally heavy. It is so big and thick. I'm obsessed with it. So I like to use this brush for a number of reasons. I'll pack a bunch of powder on it and just kind of set my whole face with it. Or if I'm being a bronzy girl, I'll take my bronzer and just go like this with it and just really bronze up. But this brush is so soft and just plush. It's so great for setting the entire face. The best powder brush ever, period. If you get any brush, make sure you get this one. It's the best. So we also have a little bit of a smaller brush. This one is the tapered powder brush. Is an L23, and we wanted to create this so it's great for packing on and baking in specific areas such as the under eye, like that. I'm gonna show you as well. It's also great for like any powder, like if you're gonna bronze and you wanna get specific or contour, this is great. It's a little bit bigger than some of our other brushes like that. I'm gonna show you though, because I wanna show you me contouring with this. This is kind of why I created this brush. You can use it for any powder. You can use it for highlighting if you want to, but I really enjoy contouring with it. So we have the L22. This is a very thick kabuki fan brush. So I'll just get some of my bronzer. I know my mirror is broken here. I have like 100 years of bad luck for all the makeup mirrors I've broken. I'm just doomed for the rest of my life, I guess. But anyways, I like to contour and bronze with this because, it like fits so perfect in the face. It just makes the job so easy. This brush is also extremely soft, blends to the heavens, and you can even get around your forehead. Like, it's the perfect shape for contouring and bronzing up. And you can even chisel out your jawline with it. It's so good for everything. I feel like bronzer just brings me back to life. Like, after you put on all the foundation, concealer, and powder, you're just like, and then bronzers like it gives me life as well as blush. So you could also do blush with this, like if you put some blush on the other side of it and just kind of buffed it in. Really beautiful to use it with. This one, again, another staple. I mean, all these are staple, but there's like a really great elevated collection for LauraLeeLosAngeles in the brush department, and I know you guys are gonna enjoy these. So I'm gonna take some of my Lunar Beauty Blush Prism palette. I do want to show you guys using the L23. So I'm gonna tap into a little bit of Stargaze right here. And I'm just going to apply it to the apples of my cheeks. That's what this brush is great for. Any powder products. Sometimes I'll put my bronzer on with it. Sometimes I'll, bake and put my powders on with it. It really depends on what I'm in the mood for or what brushes are clean, but it's also great for blush. As you can see, you can really stamp that blush on because it has that tapered finish. It really gives you that precise blend. So pretty. Okay, next we have a highlighter brush. I'm obsessed with this highlighter brush. It's a little denser than our other one. It looks like this. So I'm gonna take our glazed palette, and this is our L25 highlighter brush. It does pick up a lot of product, so careful. But oh my gosh, this brush is so magnificent for highlighting. It's also a small powder brush, so like depending on what you want to do with it, you can definitely do more, get more out of this brush than just highlighting, but that's one of the things I definitely love it for the most. By the way, I'm taking Glow Gal in the palette. This is our glaze palette, check it out, and obsessed. Alrighty guys, so I'm gonna go in with Nudie 2 since we have her here and she's on sale. So I'm gonna take my L26, this is our biggest blender. I'm gonna tap it into Balm, which is a matte peach shade. I'm gonna blend it back and forth like this. It's gonna be our transition shade. It's gonna set the base for the rest of our colors. And don't let this peachy shade intimidate you because as you can see when you blend it out, it almost turns into like a nice soft brown with like a warm undertone, like a warm peachy, pinky undertone to it. Now this is where our smaller blender comes into use. There's the size comparison. This is the L28. So now I'm gonna go into Patootie, which is a warm caramel brown. It is a bit deeper. And because this brush is so small, you can really do your precise blending with this guy here. So I'm gonna focus this color more so on the outer corner and just blending it in with these tiny little back and forth in circular motions to get it really softly blended. But I love little brushes like this because I feel like they kind of help control the look and like not have this eyeshadow exploding everywhere. I'm also going to take a little bit of Patootie and go ahead and apply it with the same brush to my lower lash line. Now what I like to do, we've kind of smoked things out. I'll go back to this blender, even with some of the peach eyeshadow left over on it, that's totally fine. And you can really just blend in and soft up the edges. Now I'm gonna go in with the L27, which is our flat shader brush, and I'm gonna take a little bit of concealer on it. And this is the perfect brush because it has that nice flat rounded edge for packing in color, but it's also great for carving out your eyelid if you guys are into that, to create like this soft, beautiful glam look. Kind of like that. And what I like to do is just press it and pack on the concealer. And I'll do the same thing to this eye over here. As you see, I'm really just pressing it in to create that rounded shape to follow my eyelid so it looks really natural. And that's going to create a more of a softer cut crease instead of like a harsh one. It really depends on what you're looking for though out of your look, but I like it whenever it's like a little bit soft, a little more blended. And you can take the exact same brush. We're gonna go in with Sheer, which is this beautiful golden, more like a champagne color. And we are just gonna push that right on top of where we concealed and just really pack it on. And then I'm gonna take this tiny little blender and I'm just gonna soften up where the shimmer meets the matte. So I'm just going in right here and just with that patootie brown caramel, just gonna soften up those edges with our small brush. Again, this one's the L28. Do the same thing over here. Like that. Now I'm gonna apply a little bit of eyeliner and lashes and I'll be right back. So that is it. That is our brush kit. The birthday brushes are here. Celebrate with me. Don't forget to tag me and Laura Los Angeles if you do get the brushes. I would love to just see your looks, see you use them, hear you talk about them, hear what you love about them. I love hearing back from you guys and your feedback. The brushes are beautiful. They are limited edition. They will not be restocked. Once they sold out, they are gone forever. So I hope you enjoy these Luxe brushes. I love you guys, and I think that's like it for this video. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for celebrating my birthday with me. You guys are always the best. You're always the most supportive. I will have every single thing linked down below and all the price breakdowns linked down below too in the description. So if you want to visually see those breakdowns, they'll be there. And of course, all the links to all the products. Or if you want to get individual brushes, I will link them individually down below for you to check them out. But with that being said, be sure and subscribe, enter the giveaway before you leave, and I will see you in my next video. Love you guys. Bye. It's my birthday. It's my birthday.
Go, Laura.
Go.